So I want to take you down a storyline here. The State Department is saying that there are only about 200 people that are American citizens left. That's interesting. That's really interesting because I just happened to know that a plane took off yesterday with, I think, about 50 Americans. So down to 150 Americans, apparently. Now, I don't think that's the only plane that took off yesterday with Americans clamoring to get onto the flight. But maybe that's just me. I mean, who are you going to trust? I want to share something from the New York Times. What voters in California's swing district say about Afghanistan. New York Times. A battleground district, even some Trump supporters say they were hesitant to hold President Biden accountable for the casualties and the chaos in the U.S. pullout from Afghanistan. Brenda and Leo Ortiz had paid enough attention to the news from Afghanistan that it was hardly a surprise when their 11-year-old son asked them a question. How could so many Americans be killed last week? Ms. Ortiz, 41, tried her best to explain, giving their son a brief history lesson on Osama bin Laden, the Taliban, and ISIS. But by Saturday, Ms. Ortiz was focused on more personally pressing matters. Her 3 children were completing their first month of in-person schooling since the start of the pandemic. She was saddened by the death of Americans, but she wondered aloud how we could possibly focus on a crisis on the other side of the world when there was more than enough to worry about in the United States, in her own backyard. Okay, I would like to address anyone who's thinking like Ms. Ortiz, because I'm overwhelmed as well. We all are. You know, we're the only country in the world that is struggling with how do we put our kids back into school with COVID? We're the only ones that are still thinking maybe they shouldn't go. The only ones in the world. There's a lot of stuff that is a manufactured crisis. A lot of stuff that we're dealing with that we shouldn't be dealing with. But let me tell you why this is so important. And I'm going to start with the president's dog. There's a story in the Federalist today that just is making a very good point about a press conference where it was on Friday, where Jen Psaki, the press secretary, answered a question about the president's dog. Now, the president's dog is really kind of an insignificant matter, isn't it? I mean, I don't really care. I don't even know the dog's name. Do you know the dog's name? I love dogs. I don't know the dog's name. Do you?
I don't know.
Okay. What do you know about the dog?
Incredibly little.
I don't even know what kind of dog it is. Okay. I don't care about the president's dog. So why was a reporter from the New York Post asking about the president's dog? The president's dog is named Major. Okay. And 2 months into the administration, Major was, quote, surprised by a Secret Service agent and really kind of trying to adapt to the new surroundings of the White House and all of these strangers. And so Major bit a Secret Service agent.
I do remember this, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, still don't care, right? I've got too many things to worry about. Oh, the president's dog was adapting to new surroundings, bit the Secret Service agent. Let's move on. However, that's not the story. That's not the story. As we have found out now, the dog has bitten 8 Secret Service agents and has bitten people in their Delaware home. So the dog is not trying to familiarize itself and freaked out by all of the strangers. Something's wrong with the dog. Now, I'm not going to get into that. I don't care. I feel bad. I don't know what's happening with the dog. But they said that they had to get him to Delaware to have some retraining because he bit this one Secret Service agent. We now know that it's 8 Secret Service agents. And the dog has a history of doing this. Okay? So why am I talking to you about the stupid dog? Because when they were asked about it, all they said this Friday when it came out that, oh, there were 8 Secret Service agents and there's a history of this dog doing it, they were asked, how can we believe you about anything if you would lie about something that nobody cares about? Okay, that's a really important question. Well, she said, I'm really glad that you're bringing up the president's dog because it's such an important issue to the American people. Okay? Again, not answering it.
Of course not.
Okay? And throwing it away that if you didn't know what the question really was, you would think the New York Post, what a stupid question. It's not a stupid question because it's not about the dog. It's about if you lie about the stupid things, the little things, how can we trust you on the big things? There is, I thought about the gods of the copybook headings today. I've talked about that for years. If you've never read it, you should. But the copybook headings were things like water will wet us and fire will burn. And they were the things that when you had, in the old days when you were taught cursive writing, these truths would be up at the top and you would copy them. Okay? And you're cursive. We've all done, well, we all did this. If you're my age, we all did this. But there were truisms like water will wet, fire will burn, God is good, things like that. And the story of the copybook headings is there comes a time, and he's predicting, there will come a time when everything is upside down. And we don't believe anything that used to be known to be true. For instance, women get pregnant. Not guys. Women get pregnant. And he said that the longer those lies take root and the deeper they take root, the harder the fall. And so I thought about this because Aesop, you know, we used to learn things from fables. Aesop taught a liar will not be believed even when he speaks the truth. This is why the left does everything they can to discredit people like me. People, anybody that you trust that disagrees with them, they immediately discredit. Because if you can't believe the small things, you can't believe the big things. And even when a liar is telling the truth, nobody believes them. This is why this is so important. Because how are we supposed to, if they lie about little things, and I go back to Ms. Ortiz, I'm so worried about so many things. Yes, but how many of those things are real? How many of those things domestically are real? How many of those things are being caused by this administration, but they're lying to you? Do you really believe that domestic terror, the biggest threat of domestic terror, is going to come from a Klansman? I've seen one Klansman in my life, and he was at a rally, and it was him. Okay? He was all by himself. I'm not saying that there aren't Klansmen. There are. And they are dangerous. But you really think with what's going on in Afghanistan, that's where our Department of Homeland Security, that's where our intelligence agency should be focusing all of their problems and all of their time on? Do you really think that the economy is going to get better? Do you really think that, there's not a problem with inflation? They're lying to you. Oh, no, we can print as much money as we want because we're not really printing it. We're digitizing it. That's a joke. They're lying to you. Do you really think they got all of these people out of Afghanistan That there's only 200 now, today, probably only 100? I can testify to you. I know the truth. They're lying to you. Do you really think that your kids should wear masks at home with you? Do you really think that this quarantine that, thank God, Australia just gave up on, where everybody's got to stay in this inside, do you really think that's true? Or is that a way to control you? They're lying to you. Here's what's really going on. By the way, I told you yesterday about the Marine that criticized the military leaders and said that he just was demanding accountability. Do you know what happened to him? I mean, before he resigned, he was ordered to go to undergo a mental health screening because there might be something wrong with his mental health. For asking for accountability? Yeah, he's sick. They're lying to you. The Taliban, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's a new Taliban. It's a new Taliban. We're not leaving there. They're different this time. They're lying to you. How do I know? Try this story out. An Afghan folk singer, been executed by the Taliban days after they declared that music would now be forbidden. His family told the Associated Press that he was shot dead on Friday when enforcers returned to his home after earlier searching it and drinking tea with him. They shot him in the head on the farm. He was innocent, a singer who was only entertaining people, the grieving son said about his dad. He played a bowed lute and sang traditional songs about his country. It was 60 miles outside of Kabul. Music is forbidden now. And if you sing or play, you will be executed.